Hi everybody, you'll know by now that we've tragically lost Ozzyosbourne. He passed away on the 22nd of July. Today's the 23rd, so everybody's filled with sorrow and grieving, and the strange feeling of experiencing so much joy in recent weeks, seeing Sabbath and seeing Ozzy playing their last show at Aston Villa in Birmingham. So Jesse and I recorded this video that you're about to see last week, so just really standing as a testament and a celebration and a remembrance of the Prince of Darkness, the Prince of Aston, an amazing human being who gave us so much joy and laughter and was there as part of the soundtrack of our lives for so many people all over the world. This working class lad from Aston reached out and did what he did best and gave us some amazing music, and we'll never forget him. Rest in peace, Ozzy. We're thinking of you, and we're thinking of your family, and we're thinking of the lads from the band as well, Tony and Bill and Geezer. We love you and we'll never forget you. Farewell.
Blimey, long time no see.
I blame America.
Yeah, I blame America as well. Yeah.
Didn't tax us in the beginning.
If you're going to blame America, I suppose you have to blame the English for letting you win.
It wasn't the United Kingdom back then, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, it was great. It would have probably just about been Great Britain, actually.
I don't know what's so great about it.
Honestly, it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
You know what's great about it?
Yeah.
Ozzyosbourne.
Yeah, Ozzy is, he's a great hero, and of course, my connections with Aston are probably too many to really mention. I perhaps need to write a bloody book about it, to be quite honest. I mean, my nan and granddad were married at Aston Church. My great grandma passed away sadly in Highcroft Hospital, which was originally Aston Union Workhouse. She passed away there in the year that Black Sabbath were formed, 1968. My dad was born in Erdington, which is adjacent to Aston. The list goes on.
What does Aston have to do with Birmingham? Is it just...
Well, it's a suburb of Birmingham, but it's very close to Birmingham city centre, and it's it's one of the true sort of centres or parts of the original kind of Birmingham city itself. Really, it was incorporated into Birmingham at a very early stage in Birmingham's history. It was in a town or a village all of its own at one point, but you know how cities gobble up outlying areas, and incorporate places. So it's just got a huge history. Of course, Aston Villa Football Club, one of the original soccer teams.
I appreciate the translation.
My pleasure. For our colonial brothers and sisters who may have a little trouble with, well, the accent from
English.
I don't know who said it, but the United States and Great Britain are two countries divided by one language.
Well, how should we go about doing this?
The thing is, we're probably a little bit behind the curve now, because getting on for 2 weeks ago that Sabbath played their final show, Back to the Beginning, at the beautiful Aston Villa football ground. So yeah, what were your impressions? Give me your impressions of the whole thing. Give me an overall oracular view.
I loved it. I watched the whole thing through and through. And I thought it was beautifully done, and it was emotional. I've shared this before, but didn't expect the emotions that I got to be so strong watching it. I thought almost every band did well, and it was a joy to watch. And I thought, yeah, they should be, the people who put it on should be proud of themselves, and all the bands should be proud of themselves. And I like the in-between stuff too. There's a couple repetitious ones. They showed the same people, sometimes the same people over and over, making their Ozzy tributes and comments. But it was also great because it's kind of the gift that kept on giving. Seeing the videos later, like that Mastodon put out, seeing the pictures of them all hanging out with Ozzy in the videos, and the pictures the fans took with Ozzy. And so a lot of residual fun.
Yeah,
Too.
it was. There was a huge amount of after effect and kind of after party going on. It was great to see all the backstage photos and all the interactions with the musicians, and also to see, you know, with regard to some of the videos that were shown, that the charitable aspects as well. I've got to, you know, give a huge amount of props to Sharon and Ozzy and the band and everybody who partook with regard to not getting paid, and their the profits going to so many great charities, particularly here in the West Midlands and in Birmingham itself. So
yeah,
something like $80 million raised, something like that. It's close to $200 million.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's really another beautiful piece of it all. What other overall general impressions did you have?
I agree with you. It was emotionally very engaging, and I agree that the production I thought was spectacular. I thought it was so well put together. So, you know, massive props to the technical crews, and I think they're called Mercury Studios, who were doing the technical side of the streaming. So yeah, I watched it on streaming as well. Sadly, didn't get hold of a ticket, and I knew it would kind of be out of our remit for various reasons. But just so thrilled when it was announced that it was going to be streamed, and leapt on that and got a ticket sorted out straight away.
You remind me of it. Otherwise, I probably would have forgotten about it.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, it was heavily at the forefront of my consciousness for quite some time, because, you know, having been a Sabbath fan since kind of the mid 1970s, really. Wet Saturday afternoons around my friend Andy McLuhan's, listening to Paranoid. Distant memories now. Sadly, my friend Andy is no longer with us. We were best friends at school, but so yeah, that you know, that's part of it really. For me personally, it brought up all sorts of real associations and memories, and hark backs to my early days of fandom, etc., and loving the music and discovering the music and finding that really gave me a sense of who I was and who I wanted to be. And, you know, that was another reflection for me, just the good feeling, the bonhomie, the sharing with all these people coming from all over the world. 40,000 odd people were there at the show, and there was just some great interactions, and it was just wonderful to see all these folks visiting my hometown, Birmingham, and seeing the murals outside New Street Station, and visiting Digbeth, and visiting Ozzy's house in Lodge Road in Aston. But the show itself, bands were fantastic. I was really impressed with a lot of the bands who I thought originally I would be a little bit ambivalent about. And Sabbath themselves, though the performance was short, it was sweet, it was bittersweet. But one of the only slight downsides to the live stream itself, I don't know whether this is the impression that you got from watching it, was it ended rather suddenly. It seemed like the band just sort of left the stage without any interaction or goodbyes to the audience, which you would expect. But the fact is, it was edited for brevity because of broadcast time, so they missed out a little bit. But it has been announced today that there's going to be a film version released in cinemas later on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a limited release, so we're maybe going to have to wait for the streaming or the Blu-ray. It's the kind of film that would have been shown at the Electric Cinema, which is right next door-ish to the Crown pub on Station Street, which you will have seen now, visited by many fans, with all those photographs blown up that were donated by Jim Simpson. On the pub, the Crown, which is closed, sadly, which was where Sabbath played one of their first shows as Black Sabbath. And then round the corner is the Electric Cinema, which closed in February last year and is under threat of demolition. But it's one of the oldest, and at one point was the oldest functioning cinema in the United Kingdom. Art cinema, short-run movies, special interest films, documentaries. Myself and friends and Helen have been there many times to see some fantastic movies. But it's the kind of place where the Black Sabbath documentary and film would be shown, the upcoming Ozzy documentary as well. So we are trying to get people interested in signing petitions and joining along with our campaign to get Station Street turned into a place of cultural importance, to be recognised, and like Liverpool does with the Beatles and many other places do with their musical history. Birmingham, something pinging. Birmingham need to pull their socks up and get their big boy pants on and get something done about it.
Yeah, maybe some highlights. Maybe we can do some highlights then next. The obvious one, and it should be first, as they were first, but also at the forefront of our minds because we're,
of course,
a de facto Mastodon, is the mighty Mastodon. It was so cool to see them open it, and I just want to say that I thought they did excellent at getting the crowd into it. That's got to be.
I did, yeah.
A nerve-wracking responsibility to go first.
Yeah.
And Troy especially, I just thought Troy was really great. He was up, he controlled the room.
He really did.
And he really was so confident and really got the crowd really seemed to love him. And well, they probably love Mastodon anyway, but I thought he was really good in particular to get the crowd into it. And then of course the cover they did where I don't know if I know all the drummers. I know the Gojira drummer and the
I recognize
Danny Carey.
Yeah, because he's been around quite a bit recently, working with Steve Vai and Adrian Ballou, playing some King Crimson music. They've been touring and doing a show, King Crimson music from the 1980s. So yeah, that was fun. That was, I really enjoyed that. And Supernaut is the tune that they played, and it is one of my favorite Sabbath tunes.
And this is the other big ones that stood out. Slayer, Destroyed.
Oh man,
I just was so it's so weird to like say it, but I felt so proud of them.
Yeah, well, I can understand that because they really did give it their all.
Tommorello, he's such a
charismatic.
He's such a force. He doesn't even have to move. In fact, he can't move very much because of his neck. He had a lot of surgery on his neck from all the headbanging, probably. But he's still, again, talk about command presence.
Definitely. And his sense of humor as well, his little asides and his smiles, and he was just absolutely loving it, wasn't he? And I think he was looking at the crowd thinking and seeing how much they were loving it. And it was a feedback loop. He was in this loop of joy.
Well, I noticed the same thing, and I was like, definitely not going to be. I don't think it's the end of Slayer. They might be in a good sweet spot. Maybe they don't want to tour as crazy as they did before, but I'm sure we'll be seeing some more shows. And maybe that's kind of how it should be done, with them. Just play special events, festivals here and there.
I mean, there's this thing about bands becoming, a heritage act, which I don't know whether that's something that is kind of placed upon bands by the music press or the press or fans or maybe even critics of certain music acts. I mean, naming no names, but who's to say what is the right thing for a group of musicians who've made their lives and their livings from giving music and giving that out on stage? How do you stop doing that? How do you bring that to a close, you know, with dignity?
Yeah, Ozzy provided a great template.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess you never want the last show to be due to like Parkinson's or some other debilitating disease, obviously, but I'm sure it's hard to know when to hang up the hat. Ozzy certainly did it well. Tommorello, man, his voice.
Yeah.
I can't believe how powerful it still is. I was just this is a side note. I'm trying to get a band together for my 50th birthday party to play, you know, all the things I always wanted to play and all the other stupid cover bands I've been in that never wanted to do it. But some Slayer. And I'm like, man, I can't sing like Tommorello. That's so good.
Have you got any friends who can emulate the way he vocalizes?
I don't know. I can pull off, I think, some of it. I mean, again, I don't think it's great. I think it might be acceptable, but I never really. There's a very few vocal ranges where I think I sound quote unquote good. So I don't see myself as a big singer, even though I love it.
Does it matter? Jesse? Does it really matter?
Well, I figured for my birthday, I don't care. I just want to do what I want to do.
If you're having fun and all your friends and family are there and they're having fun as well, I think that's all that matters, really, isn't it? Let's look at some more bands. I mean, Mastodon, Rival Sons. I thought they were great. They toured with Sabbath, and I thought their version of They Did Electric Funeral, they did it justice, definitely. What about Anthrax with your guitar?
Yeah, well, that was my favorite part. To see Scotty and playing the guitar just bought. Oh, right here. Hello. Yep. Hey, Scott. Should I name him Scott? Maybe I should.
He was doing some jumps, and I thought he was going to not come down. I thought he was going to launch into the bloody upper atmosphere with some of his leaping up and down. It was brilliant.
He's in good shape. He's like 60, I think.
He can lay down some chunky riffs, man.
Really I love his rhythm playing. This is what I always say about Anthrax. Was never really a favorite band of mine. I love their riffs. I can't get past the singer very well. I thought he did well, but and I don't think he's a bad singer. I think he's a good singer, but it's not really my style that I like.
Sure.
For some reason.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
they're great.
Yeah, for me, I don't really remember much about them apart from Scott Ian being really entertaining and really giving it his all. Weirdly, never having really been an Anthrax fan at all, even back in the day or to date. I've been following Scott on Instagram for quite some time now, just because I was attracted to his sense of humor and just seemed like a really nice guy, and he plays some covers of things that interested me, etc. And I think he's just a real solid player and a real character. So impressed with Anthrax. Halestorm, what do you think about Lizzie Hale?
Oh, you know what? I lied earlier. I did miss them. And you know what? I missed Rival Sons.
Oh, okay.
Too. So I missed Halestorm. I'm sure it was good, but I don't know. What did you think?
It's the first time I've really seen her give a live performance. I've seen a couple of videos possibly on YouTube and stuff like that, but I was absolutely knocked out by her voice. I've changed my spectacles, by the way, so there's a continuity problem going on there. I was really
Simon? Is that
me? Left the room, actually.
Simon.
No, I'm his twin brother.
Where's Simon?
Twin brother. I thought Lizzie Hale was amazing. She's got a fantastic voice, and she really gave it her all. The energy is incredible, and of course, it's just once again a reflection of just the fact that metal is quite a masculine world. She was the only woman on the bill, but I think they helped to make up for that by her being in one of the super groups and doing a slightly longer set, I think. Halestorm did a slightly longer set than everybody. I think they did 4, maybe 5 songs.
Oh,
but
good.
she was cracking. She reminds me of Pat Benatar. Do you remember Pat Benatar?
Yeah. I love Pat Benatar.
I saw her at Birmingham Odeon back in the day. God, it must have been about 1980. We were quite into Pat Benatar. Liked her guitar player, her husband Neil.
Oh yeah, he's
really
great.
Great.
He's a great guitarist.
Really is. Yeah. Underrated, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lizzie and her band. I thought her band were pretty amazing as well. Lamb of God.
I agree. There's like some pretty common commentary about him singing as opposed to his
vocal
powerful scream. Yeah, Randy Blythe. And yeah, I thought he pulled it off. I didn't think wasn't like beautiful. But that's not really his thing. But I mean, for it not being his thing, I thought he did fine. He did a fine job.
Well, I think for a lot of people who were seeing them for the first time, they weren't aware of kind of there's a bit of a proggy element to their tunes. They they turn strange corners and stuff like that, and maybe that's just something that you have to sit down and absorb and really kind of get into. But Randy, he posted something really beautiful on his Facebook page. He made I don't know whether you saw it.
I did. Yeah, I think I even got welled up a little bit reading it.
Yeah, me too.
We're so sappy.
We are, yeah. We're of that age. We're old men, Jesse, and old men get sentimental about the weirdest.
That's right. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm proud I have feelings.
Me too. Yeah. It keeps me going. Nuno Betancourt, man, he really kept things rolling along, didn't he? Didn't you think?
Just otherworldly. Maybe I wouldn't say that otherworldly. What would I want to say? He he's fantastic. I mean, just disgusting.
Yeah.
Guitar prowess.
The talent.
And I even like, I never got into Extreme really, but the Extreme, his band with Gary Sharon.
Yeah.
They got back together, and I even like, there's one song they released that I really like, and it's because of the phenomenal guitar work that is just really bumps you up. But yeah, I thought he's definitely stood out.
I was not really aware of the quality and skill of his guitar playing until he was interviewed by Rick Beato.
I mean, he's got to be easily top 100 guitar players of all time, I think.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely in that number. That's for sure. I thought his playing was spectacular. Incendiary, I think, is a great word to use for guitar.
Yeah, explosive.
Like catching fire, man. Yeah. So we had Nuno Betancourt, Mike Bordin, David Ellefson, your pastor, who married you back in the day, who you bow down to and worship. Megadeth.
That was really. Now I'm wearing the shirt. So that was cool. So that's an interesting topic actually, because yes, it was cool that David was there representing, and interesting that Megadeth as they are today was not there. I don't know what that is all about. There's probably a benign story behind it, but I swore I saw them on the bill at first. And I know there was rumors that Sharon, there's maybe you have heard more than I have, but there's a rumor that Sharon took someone off the bill, and then the rumor turned into it was Megadeth, and then Kelly, yes, you mentioned her earlier. She dispelled that rumor that it was not Megadeth, but I thought they were on the bill initially. Just one more thing, I bet it chapped Dave Mustaine's hide. I don't know if it's true, if that is accurate, but I bet he felt a little funny about not being there and having David Ellefson there.
Yeah,
that was really cool that David was there for sure.
Definitely. Jake E. Lee, I didn't really know much about Jake, but he played with Ozzy Osbourne's band, didn't he, for many years?
I didn't know much about him.
No, great guitarist. What a fantastic guitar player. And then we had Adam Wakeman, who is Rick Wakeman's son, keyboard player with Yes, prog rock band Yes.
Oh,
Much aware of them. I'm sure you will have heard of them.
yeah.
But you probably wouldn't real. If you want some serious noodling, noodle, gnomes, hippies, otherworldly planets, covers by Roger Dean, amazing artist. He's Rick Wakeman's son, and he's the Black Sabbath's go-to tour keyboard player. So it was great to see that he was there. And then Youngblood came on and sang Changes. Were you aware of Youngblood?
No, not until this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about him. He looks cool.
Yeah,
cool clothes.
Plays the part, definitely. Yeah.
Well, he did well, didn't he?
I thought he killed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was everybody. It was great. I loved the feeling of everybody when it first came on. You could feel the audience go, "What? What's he doing here?" Or "Who the hell is that?" And then as he got through the song, everybody started going, "Oh my giddy aunt, he's killing it. He's really rocking out here, and he's giving a great performance." And did you happen to see any of the little clips of him talking to Ozzy?
When he gave him the cross?
Yeah, gifting him with a beautiful handmade box and a crucifix. And just loving him, and they were loving each other. And I've got a feeling they've known Youngblood, or Dominic, I think is his real name, for some time, and they're very friendly, and they're very supportive of his career. I think got to give a shout out to Tom Morello as well.
He was the big orchestrator of everything, right?
Yeah, he was the MD. He was the puppet master. What a job! What a task! What a result that he pulled it all together. He's got one hell of a phone book, that boy. We had that video then from Jack Black playing Mr.
Oh,
Crab.
yeah. Oh, with Morello's son, right?
Yeah, that's right. He's ace, isn't he? He's going to go a long way as well.
Yeah, he's talented. Yeah, that was cool.
I think Jack Black has become something of a mentor, hasn't he, to young musicians? And I like that about him. I like that aspect of his character.
Yeah, I think he lives his movie in real life a little bit, the School of Rock kind of thing.
Somewhat. But I thought his Ozzy, not really an Ozzy impression. I thought he sang it really well as himself. I thought that came across great. So yeah. he nixed that, definitely. Aliceinchains.
All the bands that play, there's a connection to Black Sabbath, but aliceinchains especially, I think, with the doominess.
Yeah.
The doominess of the music. And I really love that guy, Duval.
Yeah, he's great.
He's got a powerful voice.
Yeah, because he's been producing a band at Ember City, hasn't he? New young band, really good, really nice, new metal band.
Oh, that's cool.
But Aliceinchains, not a band that I ever really got into, because they were lumped in with the Seattle scene, weren't they? With the Nirvana and Mudhoney and all of those guys back in the grunge days, I think. But they were always more metal, weren't they?
They were definitely in a kind of a crossover or liminal space with metal, where metal fans like them. I don't think all metal fans like Nirvana. I don't like Nirvana. I mean, not like them. I just never really thought it was that interesting. Really. It was catchy, but then it got old very quickly to me. Because it wasn't enough to discover, like Mastodon or the proggy stuff I like.
Yeah, they didn't really have time to develop. I think a lot of the bands that we are, certainly that I am into, have had considerable careers, enough that you've got a great depth of history to dive into there. And maybe the very sad thing about Nirvana is that they weren't there to continue and grow and achieve great depth. But Mr. Grohl went on with the Foo Fighters, who they're like I
don't like that either. I think Dave Grohl's pretty cool. He seems like a cool guy, and I like his voice.
Yeah,
I'm not a big Foo Fighters fan though. I liked one song, Hero. Here comes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
I'd like to play that live, actually. It's a good one to play. It's got some nice chords in it. But one of my favourite things from Dave Grohl is them Crooked Vultures.
Oh, yeah.
With Josh Homme and the legendary, the amazing Mr. John Paul Jones. What a super group. And everybody's going, please do a second record. Apparently it's all written, but they've just they've got to get together and record it. Josh Homme's written all the songs, apparently. I've even gone as far as designing a cover art for their next record, which I'll share.
Oh, nice.
Really pretentiously. So Aliceinchains, they did Fairies Wear Boots, which is, I mean, iconic tunes. Black Sabbath, didn't they come up with some cracking titles? Supernaut, Fairies Wear Boots, because Fairies Wear Boots was Ozzy's dig at a movement in the UK or in England in the 1970s, the skinheads.
Oh.
Know about skinhead culture.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Their uniform was Dr. Martens boots, drainpipe jeans rolled up so you got some cuff at the bottom, Fred Perry polo shirt or stay pressed shirt,
gotcha.
Buzz cut, skinhead.
Like this?
Gojira were next.
Gojira, yeah, I thought they killed it again, and they played. I still haven't really dived into their catalog.
No, neither have I.
But I did recognize the songs they played, and I love those. I think they're great. And I love that they did the one that they played at the Olympics with the opera singer.
With the diva came on and she sang up a storm, didn't she? She was fantastic. Yeah. Thought that that performance was wonderful. Their performance at the Olympics was that was groundbreaking, in my opinion. I absolutely loved that. I just wonderful that they're able to recreate that whole song in a live situation as well.
And if you want to hear us talk more about it, check out the video here.
Yeah. What an amazing bunch of musicians. I love the fact that, is it Duplantier? I can't remember his first name, the singer, because the drummer's his brother as well. They're family, aren't they? His riffing is, if you break it down, it's really quite simple. There's nothing really ultra complex about it, in the way that perhaps a lot of Mastodon's riffing, a lot of Billy Kay's stuff really gets into some complexity and is quite a lot more sort of prog in a lot of ways. But I always feel that Gojira's riffs are just, they sledgehammer, they hit hard, they punch you right in the face, and there's a simplicity and a driving power to them that I think is really it just grabs your attention straight away. So yeah, I've got to dive into more Gojira. I think they're an amazing band.
Yeah, I like the punch metaphor. They punch right in the right places. They punch you right where you want to get punched.
I was really pleased to see them on the bill. I thought that was a fantastic choice, and I hope that Tom Morello was part of that choice, I would say. And I hope that people within the Ozzy camp and the Black Sabbath camp recognised that Gojira certainly have a debt to pay to the history of Black Sabbath, with the heaviness and the down tuning as well, because I think that's a big thing with Gojira. A lot of down tune to C sharp and a lot of down tunes at A and D going on with their guitars. So
and they've kind of I don't know if you could say pioneered, but they use tapping as rhythm, not like for soloing. I mean, maybe they do some for soloing too, but a lot of their rhythm is that tapping stuff, which I think is interesting.
It is. It's an interesting technique.
And the drummer is insane.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah, and I think he is actually certifiably insane from the flailing about.
And I really like the bassist too. I love all of them actually. And they're all unique, and I feel like I really I don't know about love's the right word, but I really like them all for sometimes reasons I'm not even sure, but I love the way the bassist moves on stage. He gets really into it. And he's tight. Despite all his movement, he's real tight with it.
We love Gojira, and we're both going to promise to check out more Gojira, yeah, because they do whales as well. They like whales, don't they? Moving on, we had a drum off. Travis Barker, Mr. Carey, and
Oh, you know what? Sadly, gosh, I missed more than I let on. I missed. I'm ashamed, and I'm regretfully missed that too. I bet it was great though. What'd you think?
They got a little bit messed up, I think, at one point, and Chad Smith had to bring them back in because they were playing "Symptom of the Universe," which is my favorite Black Sabbath song. It's just monstrous. One of their heaviest riffs starts things off, and then Bill Ward's drums kick in, and it just kicks you in the face because it's on Sabotage. I have the box set. I have the deluxe box set of Sabotage, which
nice,
beautiful thing, baby. This has got a bit of family history for us because this belonged to Helen's cousin Jim, who passed away a couple of years ago. He had the full collection of Black Sabbath. He was a massive Black Sabbath fan. His record collection was passed on to his sister, Debbie, who is Helen's cousin. She lives in Wales. Her husband, Derek. We went over there to see them, and we talked about Jim's Black Sabbath collection, and very graciously, they allowed it to be split up. We bought this from them for my birthday, probably getting on for 2 years ago now. Maybe it was last year. Memories are hard to grab hold of these days, but what a beautiful thing. There's a hardback book, there's a poster, there's a triple live album in here from one of them.
Oh, wow.
It's really special to me, and I absolutely, it's one of my prized possessions.
Wow, that's killer.
But the Universe is the standout track on there. And it never fails to engage me and make my heart beat faster.
Nice. So what do you think of their performance?
It was rough and ready because it was 3 drummers and then the band trying to keep it together. It was a drum off, and there were so few rehearsals for this show but they pulled it off. It was great. It was engaging. It was beautifully engaging. Chad Smith saved the day. He brought it all together at the end, and it just worked beautifully. And the fact is, we often see so many bands who are so polished on stage, and they get up there, they give the show, and it sounds like the bloody record, and they get off and you go, wow, that was fantastic, but was it a little bit soulless? Was it a little bit lacking in humanity or feel or real, because accidents sometimes are wonderful things, and it was great to see them having to work at it to get it to work, which was
well, in the day, I don't think anybody expected it to be perfect.
No way, man. I certainly did. No, that there was some work needed doing. And then, did you see the next All Stars band? Because KK Downing was featured, and they played "Breaking the Law." Breaking the law, which is just one of my favourite Priest songs. And we're going to be talking about our top 10 metal albums fairly soon, are we not?
Don't give anything away.
I'm not going to give anything away, but there's got to be some. Let's call them the Warsaw contingent, and if you know, you know. So yeah, great to see KK up there ripping it, man. Absolutely ripping it. He was brilliant with his flying V and his tight leather. And look, he's been working out, man. As skinny as he ever was. Yeah. Breaking the Law, Billy Corgan, KK, Adam Jones. I thought Adam Jones is an interesting, stony-faced, isn't he, Adam Jones?
He's a monk, I feel.
Yeah, I think he is, yeah. But he's got signature guitars with Gibson and Epiphone as well, hasn't he? He's the ones with the paintings on the back, like fantasy scenes and things. Very collectible. Mr. Jones, your guitars are very collectible. Snowblind, once again. I thought Billy Corgan did a really good job, because he's not a rock singer, he's not a metal singer, is he? He's an indie rock singer, and he's got a voice. He's got a raw edge to his voice, and he can carry a tune. God. I think
I think he's talented. He's got this talk show now, and I really don't like him on this talk show.
Oh,
All the time. He talks too much.
yeah, maybe.
I wish he let his guests talk more. It's sort of painful to watch.
Bit of him talking to Zach Wild.
Yeah.
Zach was funny, but I think he was telling stories that he's told many, many, many times before. But that's, isn't it? You know, that doesn't stop us enjoying hearing those stories, you know.
Yeah.
But Corgan's an interesting man. He's quite up his own arse, as we would say.
I think so.
But the talent on the guy, you know, you got to give him his history. And of course, he's an absolutely massive Sabbath fan. He's a huge Tony Iommi fan. If you check out any of his videos where he's talking about Laney amplification, his knowledge of Tony's original early amps and guitars and stuff is complete. So I was a little bit disappointed with Sammy Hagar.
Oh, you know, I think I missed Sammy.
Yeah, I love the
man. Oh, he played Candy or something, right? Was it like Candy?
They played a Montrose track, called Rock, which is seminal. It's a seminal, groundbreaking rock song, in which are some of the roots of heavy metal, I would say, and that whole first Montrose album as well. But I will save that for another conversation.
No, I did catch him. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I did catch him. I remember now because I was like, oh, I do know this song, which is their biggest song, right?
It was definitely. Yeah.
I thought he did okay. I'm not a big fan. Otherwise, I saw him with Van Halen. The only time I saw Van Halen, and I was always like, you know, poo-pooed him. I'm like, I don't like Van Hagar, but I'll go.
Yeah, sure.
But he impressed me at that show. This was years ago, but obviously, but he did like some solo acoustic stuff, and I was like, dang, he's got a voice on him.
Yeah, he can write a song, that's for sure. Well, I mean, after Montrose disappeared and before he joined Van Halen, I was quite a fan of his solo stuff. Transam, and there's an album called Red as well. And I've always liked Sammy. I'm going to give him his due and just say that maybe he was having trouble with his monitors, and it meant he was struggling a little bit to find his pitch just a tiny bit. But you know, he moved great, he looked great, and I think it was great that he was there because he's an important figure in rock history, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks to Sammy for turning up and doing his thing. Vernon Reid, I thought was great as well. Living Colour, they're a fantastic. Yeah, great to see. Well, you know, pretty not unique, but they're a band of colour, and I think it's important to really recognise that there's a lot of whiteness goes on in metal, but you know, it's universal. It crosses barriers, and it brings people together in love and brotherhood. So, you know,
they didn't put out. I don't think they put out a ton of albums, right? I only know the one.
Yeah.
That had a Cult of Personality, which is a classic, is a banger that everybody knows.
That's their theme, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So props to them. Thought he was great. Bark at the Moon. They did. Train kept rolling, so they brought Steventyler blew my face off, man. I thought for how is 77?
Yeah, I was impressed with him too. I was like, wow, he can still do it.
Yeah, man. Especially given that he's recently had some really, really bad health problems. I think he was actually having trouble walking. He had a problem with his lower body and with his feet and things. But man, he gave his all, and
bless. Is that when Ronniewood came out?
Yeah, and then Ronniewood came out, and everybody went, "Whoa, Grandad, get back in your box." But great that he was there, because he's such a, you know, the Stones, love them or don't love them, they're a massive part of rock history. We wouldn't have had, you know, Black Sabbath happening if it hadn't been for the Beatles and the Stones in the early 60s and the blues explosion. And the Stones are a very important part of that. You know, let's take it back to some beginnings and say that we wouldn't have metal as it is today were it not for certainly what happened in the UK with regard to John Mayall and Eric Clapton and those guys picking up on the blues from the US. And of course, that's where it goes back even further. The nearly forgotten blues guys from the early and mid part of the 20th century who were passed over in favor of Carl Perkins and Elvis Presley because they got ripped off. It's got to be said. Colonel Tom Parker took the template of black blues music and hammered Elvis Presley on top and made it appeal to a white audience and made it appeal to a young teenage audience. And my God, what a salesman, you know. He really knew what he was doing. But there's the lineage is long and deep and intense and important and a beautiful thing, baby. So, Ronnie was representing.
Who was next on the list?
We got Pantera.
Oh, yeah.
Who really, obviously everybody who has any knowledge of metal history should know about Dimebag Darrell and his sad story, but the amazing story of him up to that point as just one of the groundbreaking metal guitarists, no doubt about it. And what do you think? Do you think Zakk Wylde continues his legacy?
I'm happy they're doing it. I honestly, for some reason, I wasn't really. I thought Zakk did better with Ozzy later. Not maybe not better is the right word, but I didn't. Something about maybe it's because I'm so used to Dimebag. Maybe it's similar to Brent Hines being replaced or something. Yeah. And I never saw him live. I'm glad they're doing it. I think, and they're the right guys to do it. And I think Zakk is right to put his own twist on Dimebag. I think that's appropriate and good. But for some reason, I wasn't as thrilled, or no, I was thrilled to see it, but I was not as impressed as I thought I would be with Pantera. I don't know why.
Once again, I can only really remember Zakk, and I don't really remember the rest of the band very much. I was never a Pantera fan. They were a little bit late in the day for me when I was
Charlie Benante from Anthrax on drums, and then Rex is original member, and Phil Anselmo, who I was listening to Pantera today on my walk. I still love it. And I think Phil Anselmo is I think he's a genius lyricist. I love his lyrics. It's rare I say how much I love lyrics in the metal world, because I'm really more into the guitar and the arrangements and things like that. But some lyricists really capture my interest and imagination, and he's one of them. Mastodon being another one, and then I always say Slayer has like really poetic, though dark and bloody, but poetic lyrics. We've talked about that before.
I think between those, there's definitely some templates going on there for what metal lyrics are about and how they're put across, and the themes that they discuss, and the way that they possibly attach to sometimes, the horror element, maybe sometimes the more cartoonish element of horror, but also that can speak about our lives in very deep ways. And I think Geezer's lyrics in particular, he's received a lot more attention in recent years for the quality of his social commentary about war and about culture and about life in general. And
Black Sabbath, they're up there. They have
absolutely
great and interesting, unique lyrics. Just like the fairies wear boots. What an interesting story and an interesting thing to put to music that I wasn't tracking Like, I think that's a good example.
It just shows the depth of the imagination of these guys. Is, you know, can easily be dissed, can easily be ignored.
Well, a lot of it sucks too. Not Black Sabbath, but metal.
There's a cartoon element.
There's a lot of metal songs I love, but I'm like, these lyrics are stupid.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a number of Metallica songs that I like. Metallica lyrics mostly, I think, the old stuff, but there are a few that I could name that I won't. I'm like, come on, whatever. These are stupid, but I still enjoy them.
Yeah, for sure.
And stuff.
Well, if we were to analyze Led Zeppelin's lyrics, Robert Plant's lyrics, definitely at the start, were very naive.
Yeah,
and I think he would admit that himself. While Stairway to Heaven has been done to death, and you know, there are a lot of people who would say don't even mention it because I just don't even want to think about it. But there's a poetry to his lyrics for that song particularly, and maybe on that album he'd really started to get things together and say something. But I think he would admit that part of the reason why he has never really been enthusiastic about a Led Zeppelin reunion is that he doesn't want to revisit that part of his creativity. We're going to move on because it was, you know, Fred Durst. Guns N' Roses, man.
Guns N' Roses. Finally, something negative to say. No.
It's difficult.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I don't really like Axl Rose's voice anymore. But you were saying, we were talking about it before. Maybe he had a bad night, or maybe he was struggling. I don't really know. I haven't really watched a lot of footage of them touring lately. I do love them as a band. I mean, I still think this is where you and I may differ, but I think Appetite for Destruction is a seminal album, and just I feel like that's a nice kick in the pants. And I still listen to that album. And I love Slash. I know you have your opinion, but I think Slash still is I think he's an exceptional guitarist. Sorry.
No, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And you are perfectly
I'm well within my rights to.
You are, of course you are. You're well within your rights to be wrong. No, I don't get Guns N' Roses. I never got back today. A lot of my friends were really into them, and they played Appetite for Destruction till it wore out. And that might be a good thing for me. But I never got.
We had one of their songs at our wedding.
Yeah,
Anna made a list, and she put on "Think About You," which I thought was appropriate. That's I love that song. I really love almost everything on Appetite. I can't really listen to "Sweet Child of Mine" anymore, just because it's played to death. And "Welcome to the Jungle," but I still love that opening riff to "Welcome to the Jungle."
It's their stairway, isn't it? Really, "Live and Let Die."
You don't like it? I like their version.
No.
Uh-oh.
I never got his voice.
I love his voice. I was disappointed in it. I didn't think it was good for the Back to the Beginning, but in general, their stuff, I'm pretty impressed by his voice and think it's pretty cool. It does, it is unique. It's very high.
I thought their performance was. I struggled with it because there didn't seem to be any connection between them really on stage. They seemed to be in their own little zones. I think Axl was trying hard to whip things up and get them together, but I think he was a little bit, he was struggling with his monitors perhaps, and that meant that his vocals were, well, somebody was saying his timing was really bad. But yeah. I don't really recall that particularly, because I'll be quite honest with you, Jesse, neither myself or my wonderful partner have ever been Guns N' Roses fans. there are lots of reasons why we tend to not be Guns N' Roses fans. So we turned the volume down and we ate some snacks.
I forgive Helen. I don't forgive you.
Oh, all right.
Kidding. No, I mean, I would too. I was the whole time. I thought it was boring, and it's boring. If you know, vocals are pretty important, obviously, and yeah, it sounded like I do this too. If I'm nervous, and I don't think he was nervous. I think something else is going on. But if I am, I don't get the diaphragm power out. It's
no, of course,
coming from my throat. And it's always just lacks power and emotion.
Yeah,
but yeah, I thought it wasn't good. I thought it was the only bummer, at least that comes to mind of the day.
You know who's next?
Tool. Was it Tool?
Papa and his
Metallica. Did we skip over Tool?
Oh, did we skip over Tool?
Because Tool I thought was great, and they
sorry, yeah, they were after Pantera, weren't they? Yeah,
they played some bangers too that I still love.
Yeah, the amazing Mr. Carey as well. What a phenomenal drummer! He's the new Neil Peart to me, Danny Carey. Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Well, we don't need to say much about it. I thought they did great. And I thought
once again, I don't know their music.
Yeah, Maynard, the singer, I thought still's got it too. I think a little bit of power has diminished over the years. He really could belt it out, but I thought they did great. But Metallica,
your boys,
Metallica, Papa Het, my daddy. I was so proud of my daddy.
Rightly so, because I thought they gave 100%.
Yeah, they're. It's hard not to love James Hetfield, that's for sure. Say what you will about everybody else. Robert Trujillo, I think, is as cool as they come, especially coming from Suicidal Tendencies and Infectious Grooves and an amazing bassist.
And he wears his bass so low down that
I know.
Go into the crap.
And one of the songs I want to do for my 50th is For Whom the Bell Tolls, and they played that. And he does this thing where he crouches, and him and Kirk Hammett circle each other like prey.
Got you.
Which has kind of become a thing that I think is kind of cool. I was like, oh man, I got to find someone who will do that with me.
They do know how to put on a show. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And their choice of instruments is always eclectic and interesting as well. Obviously, we've got the fact that Greenie, the famous and storied Les Paul belonging to Peter Green and Gary Moore, was featured quite heavily. And well, thrashes the hell out of that guitar. And I think that's the right thing to do because it's made to be played.
A lot of people have. He's, what's the word? Not controversial, but there's a lot of people that love him, a lot of people that hate him, or whatnot. I think he's great. I think his early solos were quite phenomenal, but a lot of people then might say, well, because he's copying Dave Mustaine's solos. From the day, and I don't know how much of that is true or not, but they certainly were, I thought, creative, and I think maybe some of that creativity is diminished over the years, but he seems like a great guy though. Lars is also divisive. That's what I was gonna say. Lars is also a divisive figure.
Yeah,
but that's good. They were right before Ozzy, right?
Indeed, yeah. It's hard to know what to say about Metallica that hasn't been said, of course, and it's true for all of these bands and musicians. We're coming up with hyperbole that has been repeated so much over the years, with regard to the qualities of all of these bands in the metal universe. And Metallica, obviously, they're a pinnacle, aren't they, of the music?
Well, maybe we should just say, James Hetfield, if you're out there and you come across this video, it's time to acknowledge that I'm your son.
Yeah,
and
get on
people
board.
Really want to know. I mean, you can tell we're the same. We look alike, and I also love to play rhythm guitar.
Yeah, well, I want to see you two guys together in a back garden somewhere, sharing cigars and sharing tales of birds and EMG pickups. Metallica did exactly what Metallica do. They put on a slick show. They always play brilliantly well. Lars always does his jumping off the drum stool thing. That's his thing. Let's just say Master of Puppets. They played it all the way through. They did your favorite solo, and they did it credit. They did it credit.
Well, and one last thing, just the down picking that James still can do after all these years. I mean, I get carpal tunnel syndrome. I'm learning it as I'm learning these songs again. But it's basically, if you don't play it with down picks, like Master of Puppets, if you don't play it with down picks, then you should be ashamed of yourself. And
for sure,
your wife should leave you and take the kids. I mean, it's different than alternate picking, and it just gives you more punch.
It does, yeah.
And so it's worth it.
It inspired a whole genre of music, what's known as djent, D-J-E-N-T.
Yeah.
You know about that? I don't know. It sounds like a Dutch word, doesn't it? Anyhow, thank you, Metallica. You really, you set the stage for Ozzy to come on and get everybody crying, effectively.
Hi folks, it's just a quick pop in to say from here on in I'm going to keep the photographs and cutaways and other people's stuff to a bare minimum, because I think I'm pushing copyright already with Mr. Halfin's stuff anyway. I want to get this video out as quickly as possible, so there's so much stuff on the internet right now regarding Ozzy and Black Sabbath and all that's gone on in the last few weeks, so get out there, check out all the Instagram stuff and the Facebook stuff, and it's just amazing what's going on. There's so much happening in Birmingham right now. Thousands of people visiting Birmingham to see the sights and visit the Black Sabbath bench and leave tributes. Absolutely amazing. So, all right, loads of love. Bye for now. Bye.
Mama, I'm coming home. I don't think there was a dry seat in the house.
Yeah, I'm encouraged to hear that. I mean, it's not like I thought it was just me, but after seeing all the comments on Facebook, I was like, oh yeah, I guess everybody felt the same thing, which is really, really great. And yeah, I think Ozzy got choked up.
He really did.
I could have misinterpreted it, and maybe it was something else, but it looked like he got choked up. And even if it wasn't that, it was still like, ah!
Yeah, for sure. But he got it all out, and his performance in general was exactly as you would expect.
But he did great. It was kind of like a few moment.
Yeah, I
when
agree.
all was said and done.
Yeah, I think
glad he pulled it off.
I think most people were absolutely willing him to do well, and were very not relieved is not necessarily the right word, but felt for him, really proud and loving him even more for the fact that he, through thick and thin, he gave such a great performance, because it'll never be forgotten, that show. You know, people will always remember those moments. And well, I can't get Crazy Train out of my head. The riff keeps going round and round and round. Because it is one of the all-time great riffs. And was, I think this was the point at which we both agree that Zakk Wylde came into his element with his, he was the scaffolding for Ozzy on that night. He played a storm. You could see him keeping an eye on Ozzy. He was his caretaker. He was his support. he was his friend, and he was sharing the moments with Ozzy as well, because they've got such incredible history. You know, Zach had to take the place of one of the most amazing guitar players of all time,
Randy Rhoads.
Randy Rhoads. He took the place of Randy Rhoads, you know, to a large degree, as well as Jake Ely, of course, was in that mix.
Yeah, I thought, and Zach, I thought played. That's where I was like, yeah, Zach, there you go, buddy.
Same.
I didn't have that feeling during Pantera. I had it during Ozzy. I was like, there it is.
Yeah,
that's what I like to hear. And yeah, it's like he just. I mean, I felt like maybe the weird thing to say, because I don't know if he even needs to practice anymore, but I felt like he really practiced it too, because he just nailed it.
He was tight as a camel's arse in a sandstorm. I thought he was great. His
Jaffa cake.
His personality shone, but it didn't overburden the presence of Ozzy himself. And once again, I just remember Zach and Ozzy, you know, playing off with each other. And I don't have a huge recollection of the rest of the band playing, because it was, once again, senior moment. The drummer was Tommy Clefitos, wasn't it, who played with Sabbath on their last couple of tours, I think, and played with Ozzy's band quite a bit.
But Geezer was definitely, he looked good and he was tight as well. I was really impressed with his playing, and I thought he added a lot of stoic, yet he was into it, energy. And then who was it? Bill Ward taking his shirt off. Man, that got a lot of press. But I thought it was badass. He's like, here I am, let's go.
Well, that's it. That Bill Ward has not changed in his behavior, because that's what he used to do. Back in the, he'd get his shirt off as soon as he possibly could, given the heat of, you know, what's the drummer doing? He's working his ass off. They are the busiest person in the band. They're the one giving the most energy. They're the one holding it all together. If the drummer's not up to it, then you're nowhere as a band, in my opinion. Bill is one of the great classic rock drummers of all time, and always will be for me. He can do whatever he likes, and he doesn't give a flying hoot about what people think of him. His job is to play drums, and that's what he does. And you don't need to really question it or think about it any more deeply than that. But he's the powerhouse, he's the engine, he's the steam hammer of the whole thing. And then the only thing I thought was, my immediate reaction to seeing them all playing was there was not much interaction between them, but there are reasons for that. Number one, Sabbath never really interacted a hell of a lot. The main interaction was often between Ozzy and Tony. Ozzy would get excited about the guitar playing, and he'd go over to Tony and he'd mime guitar playing, and he'd do all of that, you know, singer guitarist interaction thing. Geezer always seemed to be the guy who was there, solid as a rock. He did his fair share of moving about in the day, that's for sure. That guy can rock, there's no doubt about it. But I think his ear is just locked into Bill's bass drum and hi-hat, and he's not letting go. And when it comes to doing his solo in, I think it's in NIB, he killed it. It was just magnificent. He was, you know, I think I've got to give a shout out to both the technical side of Tony and of Geezer, because they both had amplification built specially for the show. Laney did a bang up job with the kit that they put together for Tony, and Ashdown Amplification did we're not sponsored by anybody, it's just that I always appreciate the technical qualities of the gear that musicians use to make their sound. Both guys, their custom built equipment absolutely performed on the night. Bill's kit sounded fantastic, the mix was excellent, and there was Ozzy at the front, of course, in his bat encrusted throne, blacker than black, really so deeply entrenched in the moment, with every fibre of his being, and saying, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like up here. You haven't got a clue, because it was something that none of us can really appreciate to the degree that he was experiencing in that moment, which was profound, which was deeply moving, which was almost, I'm not going to start drooling and saying it was a spiritual fucking experience, but there's a closeness that you feel. I think certainly for me personally, my depth of connection with Black Sabbath is something that, while it's very similar to a lot of people's in a lot of ways, it's something I hold very dear. And my connection with Aston, you know, I've bumped into Tony Iommi, I've bumped into Geezer Butler.
Yeah.
There's a connection with Ozzy, and Bill, his history has come and gone with the band, you know, and I really felt when we went to see them on the End tour, and we saw the last but one show at Birmingham, what I will still refer to as the NEC, the National Exhibition Centre. I was saddened that Bill wasn't there. I felt that he really should have been, and I felt that he should have been on the 13 album as well, their last record.
Mm.
So there's a deep connection. I'm embedded in them, and they're embedded in me, in my psyche, in my mythology, in my imagination, in my fantasies, in my musical history, in so many things. So it was a beautiful send-off for Black Sabbath. I thought they did absolutely brilliantly. I'm glad they didn't do any more songs. A lot of people said, oh, if only they'd done a full set. They did enough.
Yeah.
They did enough to be rewarded by, now they can go away with pride. They know their place in music history. They know their place as probably the most significant progenitor of what we now call heavy metal. Back in the day, we just called it rock or hard rock. And it was with the intervention of other bands at a later stage where it started being called heavy metal. I think we've got Steppenwolf, have we, to thank for the actual words heavy metal. Yeah, get your motor running and all that, heavy metal thunder. But I thought I couldn't have asked for a better send off unless I'd actually been there.
That's really great. I mean, if you it's one thing for me to think it was beautiful. It's a whole nother thing to hear you talk about it in that way as a resident in Birmingham and as such a fan of Sabbath. I mean, they clearly did it right. I mean, you're the guy that I would want to be pleased with it. So it's really great to hear that they did it right, man. They did it right.
Thanks for your, you know, I think we've shared enough about our histories to know how deeply dedicated we both are to the music that we love. And I think you're well aware. Thanks for your kind words with regards to
I wonder what it will be when Mastodon has that last show.
Wow, yeah. They're all, well, I guess would you say they're all your age? Maybe a little.
They're in their 50s, which I will be soon enough. But so they're about 5 years older. I think Bill is 55.
So they're between the two of us, really, aren't they?
Yeah, there you go.
So
they're the connecting file.
I may be around long enough to see their retirement and their farewells.
Maybe I'll wheel you to it.
Yeah, maybe so. Or it might be where you scatter my ashes in the last show.
Maybe our partners will wheel us both. Who knows? Cool, man. Well, what do you think? Did it?
I think we've covered it beautifully. I think just to round off, just to say once again, the whole show was a great performance and I think historic in its significance. I hope that there will be a continuation of the energy and the interest from those many thousands of people who are now more fully aware of where a huge aspect of the music that they love was progenited, which came from, and that is, I'm going to say, Birmingham once again. It's an important place, and we need to celebrate Black Sabbath in Birmingham. We need to celebrate, and the world needs to celebrate, one of the birthplaces of the music that we love. And I hope that there's a continuation of that energy that can drive things forward and really make things happen on Station Street with the Crown Pub, and bring more people into this city with so much history, because it's not just Sabbath, it's Judas Priest, and it's the Move, and it's the Electric Light Orchestra, and it's Dexys Midnight Runners, and it's Duran Duran, and so many others that just slip away from my memory at the moment, but are so important.
Maybe next we'll do our top 10 heavy metal albums.
Fantastic. I've got the stack of records pretty much right here.
More to follow.
More to follow, yeah.
Cool, man. Well,
All
hey,
right.
I better get back to it, but good to talk to you. Well done. Great day for Birmingham.
Keep it metal.
All right, you too, man.
Love you, Radical Metal.
Same here, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Black Sabbath. See you later.
Thanks,
Bye.
Black Sabbath. Bye.